This is a video lesson for Module 5, Lesson 30. The Lesson 30 learning target is I can add a mixed number to a fraction. So we're going to be looking at a few different strategies that we can use to solve the types of problems with mixed numbers being added to fractions. So let's go ahead and jump into our first strategy here, which is a kind of a familiar strategy of using a number line to show the addition of fractions. So in this problem, I'm going to be demonstrating the number line strategy with 2 3/8 plus 3/8. So I'm going to start by representing our first addend on the number line. I already have my number line partitioned into eighths, so 2 3/8 is going to be at this dot right here. And then I'm going to show the addition of 3/8 by jumping forward 3/8 on the number line. So we got 1, 2, 3/8 jumped. And then where we end up is our answer. So in this case, we end up at 6/8. So this number line strategy is pretty similar to the number line strategy we used in previous problems. The only difference is that we need to set our boundaries of our number line so that they fit the numbers that we're adding. So our number line boundaries look a little bit different, but the strategy is still the same. Starting with the first number, plotting it on the number line, showing the jump of the second addend, and then our answer is where we end up. So a similar number line strategy as before, but just a little bit extended for the larger numbers. Now, the next couple strategies are going to be how we can solve these types of problems numerically. And the first strategy is that we can add the fractions only first and then combine them with the whole numbers. So we're going to add the fractions first, then combine them with the whole numbers. So I'm going to demonstrate with the problem 5 2/4 plus 3/4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2/4 and 3/4 together. So in my head, I'm separating 2/4 from the 5 wholes. And so if I combine the 2/4 and 3/4 together, I know that that's going to equal 5/4. So what I have now is I have 5 wholes plus 5/4. Now my next step is after I've added my fractions together, I have an improper fraction right here. The numerator is greater than the denominator. So I'm going to decompose this improper fraction so that I have another so I have 1 whole here and then 1/4, or another mixed number. And now I'm going to combine my whole numbers together, so 5 and 1, and I'm going to get 6. And then I'm going to add on my fraction, 1/4, and so I get the answer 6 and 1/4. So the steps I went through as I added fractions first, then I renamed improper fraction, and then I combined whole numbers, and then I added back on my fraction. So adding the fractions first right here to get 5/4, renaming the improper fraction to, or I guess renaming is probably not the best. Maybe decompose is a better word, because we broke it apart. Decompose 5/4 into 4/4 and 1/4 so that we have 1 whole and 1/4. Combine my whole numbers 5 and 1 to get to 6 up here, and then add my fraction left over 1/4 up to the whole number to create a mixed number answer. So that's one of the strategies we can use to add a fraction to a mixed number. The second strategy we can use to do this kind of addition numerically is to make wholes first and then find the sum. So in this strategy, I'm going to be looking at the fraction that's attached to my whole number in my mixed number, which in this case is 2/4. And I'm going to ask myself, how many more fourths do I need to make a whole? So if I look at 2/4, I know that 2/4 plus 2 more fourths is going to be 1 whole. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to decompose my second fraction. So then I'm going to pull out 2/4, which gives me 1/4 remaining. And I'm going to add this 2/4 right here to the 2/4 that's attached to my mixed number. So if I'm adding 5 and 2/4 plus this 2/4, the 2/4 and the 2/4 is going to combine to make one whole. So this is going to bump me up to 6 wholes. And then what I'm left with is this 1/4 right here. So I'm just going to combine that with the wholes. And I get 6 and 1/4 as my answer. So in this strategy, what I was doing is I took 5 and 2/4 plus 3/4. I decomposed the 3/4 into 2/4 and 1/4, and then I added it together to get 6 and 1/4. Okay, so I combined this 2/4 to this 2/4 to get to 6, and then I was left with 1/4, which became the fraction part of my mixed number. So these strategies can be used to solve any of the problems that involve dealing with the addition of mixed numbers and fractions. So you should be ready to solve any of the problems in the Lesson 30 problem set. But if you get stuck or need a reminder about any of these strategies, you can always come back and re-watch parts of the video to give yourself a little refresher. So good luck on your problem set, and thanks for watching.